I had just done a video about Matthew Tai and Winston Sterzel, these two racist anti-China YouTubers, and how they were lying about China, excluding black actors and actresses from movie posters when promoting a Western movie across the country, across China. And they were using Dune as an example. So this is Dune 2021. It's a remake from a 1980s movie, which is based on a 1960s novel. And they were claiming that the Chinese version of the movie poster excluded Sharon Duncan Brewster, who they just referred to as the Black Lady, because they didn't even bother looking up her name. This is the quality of their research. So just to recap, let's just listen to what they said and how they arrived at this conclusion. Let's check it out.
How this got into the Chinese market, but we looked at this poster.
It's more like the Harkonnen Baron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway.
We were like looking at this poster and we were like, they are definitely going to change this movie poster. So what did we do? We went to Baidu and we looked it up.
Yeah, so on Baidu we searched the Dune poster, and yeah, let's get us out of there. Notice there's something's missing.
Someone's missing from that poster.
Who could it be?
I don't know. Could it be the black woman?
I think it's the black person. Yes. Let's go.
Okay, so that's how they arrived at their conclusion. They did a Baidu image search. They didn't show you all of the search results that popped up. They just cherry picked one that would help them tell this lie. And so they picked that image and they claimed that's the version made for China, excluding Sharon Duncan Brewster, because no black people are allowed in Chinese movie posters. But of course, what you would actually do if you wanted to prove that would be ask someone in China. Now, these two, Winston and Matt, they had lived in China for years. They claim they know many people in China. They could have just asked someone in China, hey, can you check out what the movie poster is for Dune outside your local theater? And they would have showed them something like this, because that's what I did. I asked people, what does the movie poster look like outside your theater? And they showed me this. And there's Sharon Duncan Brewster. So this is a Chinese movie poster, and there's a black actress featured in it. And also, the Chinese apps, when you want to look up showtimes or book tickets, have the same poster featuring Sharon. There she is. Here is one out in public, a movie poster in Chinese. There is Sharon again. This is kind of like a banner style standing up. There is Sharon. And another app. They're using the same image. So I haven't actually seen the one that Matthew and Winston showed. I haven't actually seen that outside of any theater in China. Now, there could be theaters using that movie poster. No one has sent me that version yet. So at a minimum, there's multiple posters being used, including one that has Sharon Duncan Brewster in it. So the claim that China doesn't allow black actors or actresses to be featured in movie posters, it is a complete lie. But some people ask me, Brian, why are you wasting your time with these two racist idiots, Matthew Tai and Winston Sterzel? This is a waste of your time. I'm doing it because I lived through the so-called war on terror, and I watched how the mainstream media, how the establishment used people like Winston Sterzel and Matthew Tai to plant these little insidious seeds into the minds of people. These little lies take root, and then they deform people's perception of other groups of people around the world. So during the war on terror, it was maligning Muslims, and it was through actually a lot of very small lies that created the image in the heads of many Westerners of how Muslims, how they thought Muslims lived their lives and acted, and what their motivations were versus what they actually are. And they're doing the exact same thing regarding China. Now, this is to prove my point. This is why I had to do this, because it was only a matter of time before more mainstream voices got in on this, promoting the exact same lie. Now, here is the China Africa Project. What is the China Africa Project? It's a nonprofit independent multimedia organization dedicated to exploring every aspect of China's engagement with Africa. So if you want to know about China and Africa, naturally you create an organization run by white guys, because this is the managing editor, director of research analysis is white guys. And then they have Africa editor, China editor, and then the funding is corporate foundations, Western corporate foundations, and this one is tied to the German government. So just Western propaganda, that's what it is. Western government and corporate funded propaganda. What did they say about this movie poster? They said the exact same thing. They said the Chinese version of the movie poster for Dune removed actress Sharon Duncan Brewster, one of the film's main characters, who is also black. This is reminiscent of John Boyega being airbrushed out of the Chinese poster for Star Wars The Force Awakens. And they show the exact same posters that Winston and Matt showed. And how did they arrive at this conclusion of theirs? Surely they didn't arrive at it in the exact same way Winston and Matt did, because that would kind of indicate that this really isn't a coincidence. That there is a lie that was put out there, and multiple people were asked to spread this lie. And one of the key talking points was your source is a Baidu image search. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Here's Daniel Dumbrill weighing in. No, they didn't. That is one of many posters made by the studio and used in the West as well. But as a matter of fact, China is mostly using the version with Sharon present. You could have very easily verified this on your own. And they should have, because it's called the China-Africa Project. They're pretending that they're experts about China and what it's doing in Africa, and they don't even know what China's doing in China. They don't know anyone in China who could have just taken a picture outside of a cinema in China to verify this claim that they're making. And they're making this claim to put the idea into people's heads. So anyone that reads this initial tweet, they're going to see that and think, oh, China's racist. They don't like black people. They don't allow black people to be in their movie posters. And then they're going to cultivate a very negative outlook toward Chinese people. This is inciting hatred and dislike toward an entire group of people based on a deliberate lie. This is a lie. And so what do they say in response? I'm not sure a correction is needed in this case, given there do appear to be multiple versions of poster available in the market, some with her on it and others not, from Baidu.
Went to Baidu and we looked it up.
So there you go, Baidu. So they were doing a Baidu image search. Matthew and Winston were doing Baidu image searches, and they just so happened to cherry pick this one example to help tell their lie to the public. So let's take a look at the links and let's just see. So here's Dune. And yeah, and notice they're just cherry picking this one. And then, oh, we found the other one. That's nice. And by the way, here's the English version. So the original tweet says the Chinese version of the movie poster, but actually it's an English version translated into Chinese. So they just completely lied. They got absolutely everything wrong about that tweet. They should delete it, or they should correct it. But they're not going to do that. And they admit that they're not going to do that because Daniel and the China-Africa Project, they go back and forth, and they're claiming, sure, but as the discussion evolved, I also clearly stated on multiple occasions that there were multiple versions of the poster in the market. This is a fruitful discussion, so I did not want to delete the tweet. But I did update my assessment throughout the discussion, but he's leaving this initial claim up here. And Daniel points out that people are still seeing that initial claim, retweeting it, sharing this lie to other people, and hardly anyone's going to go into the discussion and see that this is a lie. And that even the China-Africa Project admits that this is not true. What they tweeted is not true. And so here's a group of people, okay, who are claiming to be experts about Africa and China. They're pretending that they're these professionals, and yet this is how they conduct themselves. They tell things that are blatantly untrue, and they refuse to correct it. If you do a Baidu image search for Dune posters, you get all of these results. You get tons of results. You get this result, which is the one they cherry picked, but you get all of these other ones as well. And here is the English version. Here's the Chinese version that they were cherry picking. Okay, and then here's the Chinese version of the English version, because that's what they actually did. The studio in the West made all of this material, and then they just translated it into other languages, and that's what China got to use. And they were using primarily this one translated into Chinese. And I showed you examples outside of theaters. The China Africa project didn't show any examples. Matthew Tai and Winston Sterzel didn't show you any examples. So again, people ask me, why am I wasting my time with these two racist idiots? Because it's not just two racist idiots. They're part of a wider network spreading these lies. This is why I spend time exposing this, because I knew it wasn't going to just stop with Matthew Tai and Winston Sterzel. It was going to spread if we didn't get ahead of it. Now, people were armed with this knowledge to counter the China Africa project, which is a more authoritative voice on things. We're supposed to take them seriously, but people were already armed with this knowledge because we got ahead of it. And we need to keep doing that. We need to, every time they try to test the water, a shark just bites their leg off. And then the next time they don't even want to touch the water. They won't even go near the water, let alone get their laps in on these lies. So if you thought this video was useful, please like and share it. Think about subscribing. It's free to do. It helps the channel grow. I have a website, newatlas.report. There are no paywalls. There are no ads. There never will be. That's where you can find and follow my work, because I was kicked off of US-based social media, Facebook and Twitter. And it's funny, I wasn't spreading lies like the China Africa project was, and I got kicked off. And yet the China Africa project is blatantly spreading disinformation aimed at stirring up hatred against an entire group of people. I'm pretty sure there's something in Twitter's terms of service about that, and yet their account will remain in good standing on Twitter. So find and follow my work at newatlas.report. In the video description below, I'll put some of the links in for this Twitter conversation so you could go through it yourself. And also some of the search results for these images. There's also ways where you can help support my work. To people who have been supporting my work, whether it's through Patreon month-to-month, one-time donations, or even if you're just helping share my work, that is all greatly appreciated. I could not do this work without that support, so thank you. And as always, thank you for watching.